Well, I think it has something to do with my work as managing director of the Gambia Post Authority at the time.
Your work as
the MD of the Gambia Post Authority at the time.
Gambia Post
Before
Authority.
I was deployed to Social Security, yes, ma'am.
We are listening.
Yes, it's an aside because it's something to do with the ferries, Aljamdo and Kansala.
The effects of?
I said maybe it doesn't actually affect Social Security, but I have a feeling I gave advice in relation to the ferries Aljamdo and Kansala. I was opposed to the project in the first place. I didn't want the Gambia government to procure those ferries.
Okay, you're talking about the ferries. We'll come to that. But we would like to know why you would act on such instructions to pay money from the National Provident Fund to the Office of the President. This letter, in the first place, as Managing Director of Social Security and Housing Finance, you are appointed under an Act of Parliament, and your duties are set out in that Act. And certainly it does not include giving loans to any government department, whether the Office of the President or any other department. So we need to understand why you would sanction such a payment. And secondly also, this payment is not even connected to any government need. It was payment that you were supposed to make to, you said, settle a tank, settle an invoice for a tank. So maybe you have an explanation. If you have, the Commission would like to hear it.
Your Honor, the whole matter or issue was orchestrated by the Office of the President, by the President himself. I know it's not good corporate governance practice for us to comply with this kind of directives. But given the limited choice that we face at the time, we had no other alternative but to comply, even though personally I know that this is not correct, this is wrong.
You said given limited choice. Is that what you said?
Well, because there was no option.
Why? You could have told him that this is National Provident Funds. It doesn't belong to government. It belongs to the people, the workers. We cannot apply the funds as you are requesting.
I agree with you, Ma. I wish I was bold enough to do that. But as I said, there are instances where I do discuss with the President on a personal level on issues or matters that I feel they were not correct. And perhaps one of the key reasons why I was deployed to Social Security was the fact that...
Perhaps, sorry? There's a lot of echo in the system. Huh?
Pardon?
No, not you.
No. It's not what I'm saying is I could have done what would have been the best for the country. But in this case, out of fear, and I think I didn't act professionally as I would have loved or wished to. But I agree that definitely, the best of hindsight, we could have engaged the Office of the President. It's a case where it doesn't serve the public interest.
Was the case where?
We were not serving the public interest, because this was a private thing.
Sorry, I'm finding it difficult to understand what you're saying.
I said I'm of the view that the formal manner in which we have acted in this case was unprofessional. It was wrong. But we were dealing with the Office of the President at the time, and we were forced to comply.
Who was the chairman of your board at the time?
It was Mr. Mamadou Akibayo at the time.
during this period, not Mr. Samba?
No, Your Honor.
When you made this payment to Mr. Samba, it was Mudu Akibayo. If you are not sure, we'll check the records anyway, but did you discuss it? Mr. Diba, you were explaining something.
Ma, you did ask me a question whether did I take it to the board?
Yes.
For discussion. Unfortunately, I did not, because it was extremely urgent and highly confidential.
It was extremely urgent.
And, yes.
Did you say it was extremely urgent?
It was extremely urgent.
How do you know it was extremely urgent?
Because we had telephone calls to that effect.
Why was it urgent? This is just about a water tank. Payment for a water tank.
I suppose because maybe the water tank belongs to the president and he wanted us to pay, to release the money as soon as possible.
And the invoice says Scanning Life Family Farms.
I was of the view maybe the president was connected to Scanning Life Family Farm.
That's all you can say about this. But yes. Did you take it to the board subsequently?
No, I can't remember, Ma. I don't think, I'm not sure whether I have done that. I can't remember.
Now, this was paid out on the 4th of August 2011. You, according to your evidence, you left on the 22nd of August 2012. The letter said it would be paid within the month. The letter from Mr. Usman Jammeh, Secretary General, said it would be paid we want to assure you that this amount would be refunded before the end of this month.
Your Honor,
was it paid?
As far as I can remember, it was not paid.
Did you follow up for payment?
I did not, Your Honor.
Do you remember who your auditors were at the time? Did they pick on this?
It's a long time now. I can't remember.
You cannot remember?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'll show you another transaction there. Can you show the witness SC19? SC19 is dated 14 October 2011. SC19 is about a loan of 10 million to KGI to purchase Tobaski Rams.
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, there is a memo in handwriting. Whose handwriting is that?
Your Honor, it is my handwriting.
This time, Mr. Jiba, there's not even a letter from the Office of the President. All we have is your memo to your staff, Director of Finance, I believe.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it says, with reference to the reloan of 10 million to KGI to purchase Tobaski Rams for the poor and the needy. With reference to the above mentioned, please proceed to provide a loan of 10 million to KGI for the purpose stated above. The management of KGI has pledged to settle the loan by December 2011. Please proceed to pay to any of their bank accounts with Trust Bank or others. Thanks. And then we have KGI International, and there is a bank account.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. What is this, Mr. Jiba?
These were verbal directives that were
verbal directives from who?
From the President himself. He
yes,
called me.
Tell us why you wrote this memo.
That's what I'm trying to explain. I said, I received verbal directives from him that we should provide KGI $10 million for them to buy Tobaski Rams for the company to sell Rams to members of the public at affordable prices. These were directives that I got from him directly.
He called you?
He called me while I was in the office.
By phone,
yes.
Or he called you to his office, or what?
No, he called me on the phone while I was in my office.
You did not even ask that it be put in writing?
I was trying to explain something. I said I should have done that. Sometimes I do persuade him or whoever to put it in writing, but as I was trying to explain, I said when I was deployed to Social Security, the relations between me and the President had soured so much. I was afraid to do what was right for the country.